My favorite character.
Zakrond. I like them all.
I don't play favorites with my children.
The whole crew. If you want to call the crew a character, then Zakrond, because I am always partial to the resident scientist, so.
Honestly, one of my favorite characters is probably the Chief. Because right around with Zakrond, the Chief is the other straight man, but Chief doesn't always play straight man. Chief gets crazy every once in a while.
And with the Chief. Because I really like the Chief.
I think Inally. I would have to say Inally just because she is the most lighthearted and but least likely to come back at anybody that wants to give her crap for anything. Either the way she's written or DrEleni's portrayal of her, well, her delivery of her, that kind of sets a nice, cool tone with it.
Swark is my favorite character. He's just funny. Come on, he's a big fat guy who loves cake. Cake!
Javan's always gonna have a special place in my heart, though.
Swark too, just because he's got a problem with cake, and it's been a recurring thing that has gone on. It's transferred into most of the cast's own personal lives, I'm sure.
Jake! Oh, for the love of Steve!
Favorite episode?
My favorite episode? How am I supposed to pick? There have been 9 so far.
The one where Swark and Inally get spud cake. Because that's one of the ones that was built out of a real-life conversation between me and Inaly's voice actress, with Javan's voice actress there, with, Spottable there, who's in charge of everything. Because Spottable's telling us about the episode and that we're going to have this kid. Like, what would Inally and Swark name their child? And, well, hey there, little fella. Inaly's voice actress comes up with Spud, and of course, this is Swark we're talking about, so I go, cake! And Javan's voice actor goes, Spud Cake? I'm like, that's a terrible name, but that's what they'd name it. And Spud Cake was born.
Gosh, Swark, who is this?
I was trying to figure that out myself, actually. Other than that, anything with Leep in it. Any of the ones with Leep in it.
Actually, speaking of Leep, favorite episode is when he first appeared. And it's not really just because of him. This is more because at this point of production of the series, you could really tell that everyone was really more in tune with what the characters were, who they were, and how to play them. And by that point, personally for me, I had a lot of a better mindset of how to play the Chief this time around. And by then I had his voice down, and I made sure that I kept with it.
Have fun, everyone, and enjoy your stay on Charmin. And please, don't forget his John Hancock.
Ew! Who in their right mind would want to see that?
The episode with Spud Cake. Spud Cake, that's a character I like, because he's so cute. When the episode where Swark and Inally take care of Spud Cake. That was fun to act like, play house and be like mommy and daddy to Spud Cake. And it was cute. It was a fun, cute little episode, and I liked all of it, and I liked pretend crying my eyes out when Spud Cake had to go back to his people, or his parents actually.
Be good, Spud! I love you! I'll miss you!
Give us a kiss goodbye, Spud Cake!
Love you. Hey! Yep, attention span of a paramecium.
I think my favorite episode would either have to be Spud Cake, right? Because that's a good episode. Or the latest episode, episode 9, because I was a douchebag. Everyone was a douchebag in that episode.
Episode 4 was good. I liked it because it was Zakrond's first episode, and it was really the first sort of dark episode. It was as dark as I could get it. Zaniness, more zaniness. more fun craziness, more sci-fi out there wackiness.
I want a musical episode. Musical.
Soap opera wackiness.
More with the chief, definitely.
Just a general revisit to some of the worlds. Some of them just seemed a little too interesting to not revisit.
And maybe something between Javan and Zakrond, but no promises there.
Oh, I know something else I want to see. I want to see Javan and Zakrond's bromance go somewhere. Because they totally have a bromance. And it's lovely.
Don't tell anyone, though. I think it's still a big secret.
Swark loves everybody.
More Inally craziness. Step into the Inally zone.
I'd like to see them go to Swark's home planet. I'd like to see them go to Javan's home planet. Because, I mean, we've seen Inaly's and we've seen Zakrond's, because that's where we picked them up.
It was in the episode where they first met Spudcake. And I don't know if I'm allowed to reveal this or not, but I remember hearing something about him returning in some form or another, which would be pretty interesting, because if I remember right, the Spudcake's specific race tends to grow up pretty fast. So I'm guessing the next time we see him is going to be a little bit older. Maybe a lot older. He might be an old man.
I'd like to see them actually come face to face with the chief for one reason or another. I don't know why. There's so many amusing things, but I remember all the mistakes that I ended up making with Leep. My Russian accent kept lapsing into Scottish, which is where you get the... Because I had to write that piece, and it's in no good, filthy, scoundrels.
Well, it certainly wasn't any thanks to those no good, rotten scoundrels that call them turned Scottish.
And trying to say that in a Russian accent, it kept lapsing into Scottish, and I couldn't handle it. And then, of course, there's the motorcycle that went by my window.
Yes, the infamous site of destruction. There's a motorcycle outside and I'm going to rip it apart with my hands.
Oh, God, so many weird moments.
When I got the lines for episode 9, the voice actresses for Swark / Zakrond, and Inally were both spent at least half of their recording sessions fighting with animals.
The dog barking outside.
Inaly's voice actress was arguing with her dog and both of her cats.
If you count the fact that what should have been a 5-minute recording session a couple episodes ago turned into like a 10-minute one. Oh no, not like, it's maybe 2 minutes. It's supposed to maybe be 2 minutes long, and it ended up taking me 10 minutes because it's the middle of summer. I was in the middle of the bedroom. I had to turn off the air conditioning, so it's hot in there. My animals are complaining. My cat's meowing in the background. My dog's barking at me and like making all this noise and annoying me, and it's like...
There's been multiple special moments, and a lot of them really have been the outtakes. One thing I liked about... I've always been a fan of outtakes, especially when it comes to a serious production, of which this is definitely more comedic, which is a blessing to me.
Hey, let's go with that. You know, stop there.
It's definitely a nice break from the more serious stuff that I've been a part of for so long.
I got a lot of explaining to do.
It just shows how much more fun everybody is having with this. What's great is that there's a lot of mutability here, where you can just have a flub and then somehow it works into the current or a future script. Like, Apparently, Jethro Swark was based off of one of the outtakes, and Jethro wasn't an official name, wasn't his official first name until it was mentioned in this recent episode.
Roadie Jethro Swark at your service. I don't think I'd really thought about it.
But yeah, I noticed that.
It is a nice break for some of us who already don't know how to wash a mouse.
I mean, Swark wouldn't. It's Spore. Spore should be kid-friendly.
I personally like it. I have no problems with it at all.
Any swearing? Well, no, I haven't. I don't know. They say spode a lot. I mean, spode. Oh, wait. Have they ever said spore? Spore's the official curse word for Spore games. So I don't know. Maybe Kylie's lying. We haven't used Earth words, but maybe we use Spore words. You know, you never know.
What? Fawappi, do not make that disgusting confection you call cheesecake. And even if we did, we would not eat it, because that's disgusting. We would use it in the faces of our enemies, to blind them while we move in for the kill.
I'm not going to go through and do the audio distortion for it, so you get to hear what I actually sound like doing them. No, we have to! Didn't you hear that distress call? The people on that planet are in a heaping mess of trouble, and we're the only ones around for hundreds of parallaxes that can help! See, I'm much more animated when I do him. Everyone take your seats and prepare for landing. We're pulling into uncharted, unfamiliar territory, and Steve only knows what's down there right now. Ah, the infamous site of destruction. As I see this, I'm reminded of my most recent completed adventure on planet Ellipso. There I was, surrounded by a See, I swear a lot. There's no swearing in the show, but I swear a lot. Surrounded by a fleet. I hate that word. See, I picked the worst line. There I was, surrounded by a fleet of 1,000 Dronoks. It's fleet of 1,000. My brain gets ahead of me.
Oh, Captain Leep! Oh, you're so dreamy. Oh, I just want to be your love concubine for the rest of eternity. Oh, soon.
You know, I really didn't mean to have the cake to myself. I actually was going to share it, but, you know, things happen, and it tasted just so good. I didn't mean to just take it all in one bite. Okay, maybe I did. And then chew it really slow, and just savor every second. I miss it. And hopefully we can go back to the planet where you got it from. Or maybe you can make some. Probably sweeten the pot as far as a little raise. Or maybe you won't get kicked off the ship. That's mean. He's not that mean, but...
Last but not least, let's see you as you record some lines from your characters. It can be a previous episode or improvised. Well, technically you can't see me because my webcam died on me like a jerk. What am I going to do? Damn, this is our 2 minutes long. Anyway, back to what I was doing. Well, how about this? I won't do characters from the thing, but I'll just make a scene, and you guys will be like, "Cool, he made a scene." I'll be like, "Yeah, I made a scene." It's gonna have sounds and voices and everything, and you guys will be like, "Mind blown!" Finally made it to the main chamber. All I have to do is set the bomb, and I'll be home free.
Not so fast, organic.
Ogotron. So we finally meet.
Yes, and this will be the last of your days. Fire! Kamehameha! You fight well for an organic, but you made one final mistake.
Yeah? And what would that be?
You are still an organic!
Well, there's one thing you overlooked.
Oh? And what would that be?
Organics can still fight when they're damaged. The end. And if that didn't make any sense, that's fine.
And if it's like where it is, if it's down here like this, oh, it doesn't record. So I can go through an entire recording session and nothing will come out. So I always have to make sure that this little button right here is flipped. Oh, it is flipped up. So
Maybe a lot older. He might be an old man whipping him with a chain. Not an outtake if it's not on script.
But I'd like to see them go to Swark's home planet, which I should know the name of because I said it in the intro of Swark and I utterly have it slipped my mind.
Oh, yeah. I love animals. I love space animals, and I love real animals, and I love them all. Yeah.
Oh, everybody had 2 characters to play in that entire episode. Let's see, it was Captain Leep and Swark. Whoa, wait a minute. I only had 1 character. I feel ripped off. Wait a minute. I'm calling my lawyer, my agent. I'm calling everybody.
ah, yes he is.
Or is it to you? Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to do that, but.
Oh, my hand is not there. Pretend my hand isn't there. He's waving all on his own.
I like these human songs. Rising up, back on the street. Did my time, took my chances. Went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. So many times, it happens too fast. You change your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip in these dreams of the past. You must fight just to keep them alive. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the gleam of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor stops his prey in the night as he's watching us all in the eye. Wow, that actually kind of hurt. Oh, of the tiger. Ding, 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 oh, I already scooped up works up. And the last no survivor stops his prey in the night as he's watching us of the tiger. Oh my god, I hope the other captains don't hear about this. Oh my god, I wasn't trying to do the whole song, but... oh wow. You don't know how much my throat hurts right now, but I hope that's enough material for the chief. I really hope no one was awake to hear that, thinking that's how I really sing. I got a lot of explaining to do. Anyway, have fun.